I told you, you're not in trouble. Remember that you asked me that, do I am in trouble? No, you're not in trouble. So, and same thing, you're not in trouble. When that happened,
Then why did Carolyn tell me that I was being forced to clock back in? And that's when I called you back and I asked you, am I going to get in trouble for saying no?
I tell you, I didn't give it to you. The one who gave that instruction to Carol was Donnie.
And that was me.
Okay.
And like how I say, he didn't know that you were home as well.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Okay.
So like how I said,
That was just a recent thing, but it's a lot of things, especially going back to last year.
Sometimes we build up an grown interpretation of the situations when we don't have the full view of what's going on at the same time. You know, that's pretty much what it is. So let's say now that you know exactly what happened that day, we handle all the calls, and like I mentioned to you, when I have those type of situations, I ask, are you willing to support? That's what I ask. Because we are stronger as a team. That case. The other one, the one that you say when I get there, and I was clear with you, I was in a call with the doctor, and I didn't lie, and it was true. And it was a 40-minute call. And before that, I was in another call with the office. The thing is, sometimes they call me so many times with the office and multiple people that they hold me on the phone. And that's part of my duties. And it's not because I don't want to do the things. It's because I have other responsibilities to go through. Also, when the office calls us, Donnie or me, we gotta first dispatch the call to whoever is closer, a vehicle, or whoever we think could do better that type of task, depending what the scenario is. So sometimes we gotta switch calls, sometimes we gotta pop up or refigure the route depending what is. And that's part of our duty. That's part of what we gotta revise in the morning. So when you see things in the morning that I move it, it's because I'm trying to make it easy.
No, I don't care about you moving things in the morning because I know exactly what I'm getting into. So that has nothing to do with this.
No, I'm just saying that it could be part of everything. But when we get called, and we get a lot of calls from the office, hey, we have this going on. And we ask, okay, who do we have where? And we ask, and we say, okay, let's send this one and give it the one that he was having to the other one. That's part of moving pieces around. So, and like I said, that's just to let you know how we do those things. And it's not because we're trying to give it our jobs to you or to one of you, the other guys. And also, not only that, sometimes they say, I have this call, I'm gonna put it on you, and then you dispatch it to who you think is gonna do better. And that, I mean, they put it on Donnie and then put it on me, and then we move it to one of you guys, depending what we find. And it's part of the dispatching. That's about that part.
I mean, why have you let the tension build for?
Because
you got stuff from almost a year ago, man.
I was new here, and then I just didn't want to be like the new guy and then be the snitch, because then I don't want to be the one that's bringing up and causing like a work disturbance. But it just kept adding on, and then like every time it was something with him, I'd always brag to my wife about it. Why don't you go talk to Donnie? I'm like, no, it's not that serious. But she basically was like, it's getting to the point where it's like annoying to hearing about this. She's like, you need to bring it up. And then like when Caroline mentioned it, she's like, you guys should bring it up to your meeting. She's like, because when he's on call, it's like he tries to move it around. I'm like, we all see it. Like we all see it. But she's like, even then I was like, it's not that big of a deal, you know? But then it's just, when you called me, after we hung up, I really sat down and I'm like, this goes way back. Why I'm having this attitude with this.
Which is hard for me to do anything about it.
Yeah,
at this point,
yeah, because
so
I kept so
has
much,
gone by.
and that's why I told my mom, I was like, I need to go talk to Donnie and Roberto, and it needs to just be us three, because she wanted me to go to upper management, and I was like, I'm not going to do that because Donnie, he's my supervisor, and
even if you did, I can tell you how that's going to work out. Why did you hold it for a year without letting me? I can't fix anything, and I've tried telling you guys this 100 times, dude. I've said it right in meetings. I can't fix anything if I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I totally get it. And then I guess it just became second nature to all of us. Like we all just kind of held it.
But I've noticed that from day one. I feel like I'm left out of conversation.
Yeah. No,
you guys protect each other.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even need to be that way. If you guys come to me with stuff, I can sit down, I can talk to Roberto, I can sit down and talk to you.
Yeah, and then I could see now how that would have probably made today an easier or that day easier, you know, from back then. And I really do apologize for holding it. It's just, I don't like being the guy that's pointing fingers, but...
Yeah, but it's not just you, it's everybody. It's Chris, it's Jacob, it's...
Yeah, well,
it's like you guys hold it in and let the tension build up.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because it's really gotten to the point where it's just frustrating to like look at the call from him, and it's just like sometimes it's not even nothing. He just wants to know where we are so he could see what he could move, and that's just the way I see it, you know.
I know you feel that way, but that's not always the way it goes down, man.
Yeah.
I get you're frustrated with him, so everything you see, kind of makes you feel like he's doing it purposely. And as a supervisor, dude, I can tell you, it's not always that way. I get your frustration, but you shouldn't have let it build up to this point, man. You should have come to me a long time ago. I could have sat and addressed some of these issues right there at that point in time.
Like how you say, we can address it properly, and also we can clear some of the things that was misinterpreted. Because let's say the one that we just spoke about, that was a total misinterpretation because it's not exactly what you were thinking and it's what really happened. That one.
I really like working here, to be honest.
Dude, I love having you here.
Yes. And I was talking to my office, like if it's gonna be problems, like I'll be the guy to leave, but I would like a good recommendation if it's not working out. I really want it to work out because I like learning. I'm learning a lot of stuff here, you know. And I really want to see what my brain is capable of, you know, with the propane business. Because I do like it. Like, I do go home and my wife's like, do you like what we do? I was like, yeah, I do. Like, I love it. It's different. And it's just, like, I love driving, you know? Like, I was doing DoorDash before coming here because how much I love driving. You know?
And, man, I hope you guys know, I'm pretty easy. I'm not a micromanager.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, I need to go talk to him because I don't want to throw him under the bus. I won't do that to you because, like, nothing but respect for you. Like you've been cool. You've been cool since before I was even hired. Like Donnie, Rob and Justin were like, yeah, once you meet Donnie, like he's really easygoing, and I met you, and it's just been nothing but cool vibes with you. Like it's cool. Like you're really cool, bro, and I don't want to do that to you. And that's another reason too, I guess, why I thought it was gonna stop. I guess that's what I was waiting for, and then it was like it was another thing, and then. Next thing you know, I'm having conversations with the other techs, and it's like, okay, it's not just it, you know? Yeah.
And on top of that, just so you know, we shouldn't be using equipment at your personal residence to...
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, and then I remember we were in Gainey Ranch. We had to wait for him till like 10 because he had the saw cutter at his house. And then for a whole year, I never even saw the concrete mixer because it was at his house. You know?
Yeah.
Like...
And just to...
I was like, where'd you get this? And then Jose's like, yeah, we've had this. It's just been at his house. I'm like, wow.
And it was there for a long time, not using it. So let me...
No, it looks like it was pretty used.
It was used here. It was used here. And it's still used. So let me bring it to you. We are able to use the equipment, take care of them for our home. And same thing with every guys. That is instruction that we had it before. And that same thing hasn't changed, and I have said the things to everyone. We could use the equipment as long as we provide the diesel, the gas, and take care of the equipment. But brought it to the job site. I mean, to have it here ready. The mixer was there because I use it to pour couple slabs in my backyard, and that's pretty much what I use it for. Till we need it. And the same thing. It's not only me. If somebody
you can sit it there until we need it. Like when you're done using it, just bring it back so that we know it's here. If we wouldn't have the situation at Gainey Ranch where we had to wait for him till 10, we would have been in the job 3 hours. You know, and we're just there waiting for Roberto.
I hear what you're saying.
We're just waiting for him because the saw is not here. The blades are here, cool. You know, but the saw wasn't here. And I hadn't even seen the saw. I'm like, we have a saw, a concrete saw cutter. And I've been here already months, you know, like down the road. And then, like, for example, like, it was calm, and then, like, that happened, and then the guys are frustrated, and then we're not throwing him under the bus, you know. But, like, we were bringing up, like, oh, we just called Donnie, but, you know, we never did. And I guess I'm the new guy that it's just hard to work around that, you know, and it's, I don't know.
Now, let me mention this, and Donnie won't let me lie about it. What I can say about David, and I'm thinking that he's a great future here. I'm thinking that you have all needed to learn more. Always when we talk about that we need somebody who can do more, I always say, I have a pretty good feel on you. So don't think that I'm trying to make you have a hard time.
No, I love learning. Like, I love it.
And always, when you call me, if I am at the position to support you and give you a hand or to explain you something, I have always, and you mentioned to me any time that I have rejected, support you if I can do. So.
No, I appreciate that. Like, there has been times where he's been there, and it's cool, but it should just be like that, you know?
You feel like it's far and few between, or what?
Well, I don't know what that means. Like, well, it's just those. It's like I said before. Like, I guess it would stop, but then it just happens again. And it's not just me. It's other guys that it affects too.
And now let's talk about the other thing. That time when you say when I take you home, like how you say, I tell you guys we have 30 minutes. That it means.
Wait, what?
The lunchtime. When you went with Jose to my house.
Oh, we were there for like 2 hours, bro. He was even frustrated. We did a whole irrigation line in his front yard. I wish I would have took pictures. Jose might have pictures, but we took out a big stump, man. It was huge. It was a big pine tree. And then he hauled it in a trailer and he took it to go dump while he was on the clock. He bought us lunch, to not say nothing. Yay, he bought us tortas. But
let's say I didn't trust you guys.
And then, yeah, like that day I told Jose, like, dude, like,
I have this. Can you give me a hand with that? So I never forced you guys. And I told him, can you give me a hand with that?
But that second day I had brought it up to Jose and he was like, we shouldn't be doing this. He even was like, I just can't say no. You know, he doesn't want to lose his position, especially since he's already hired here. Like, he felt like he was at risk, and then he's like, if anything happens, you would have to say anything. And I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna do that to you. Like, and at that point, like, I just kept my mouth shut. You know, and who knows, ever since I started service, like, what else he has done. But I guess you would have to have that conversation with the rest of the guys. And just have to be brutally honest. Like, we live once in this world. Why not? Like, you know, that's just the way I see it. Like, I'm not going to live my life and have a double face, you know, when I could just be direct. Like, be direct with me with the jobs. Don't loop it. Be like, hey, you're here. There's a job here. Can you do it? If I look at it, I'll say, yeah. Like, it's just... he tries to pick up a conversation for every time it's something. I like it when you call. Hey man, are you busy tomorrow? No. Yeah, I need you to go. Can I count on you? Yes. All right, man. Cool. What is that? Like a 20-second convo? There's times where like I have to just be rude and be like, hey dude, I gotta go. I'm getting a call from the office. It's work. I'm here to work. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to work. You got work for me? Cool. I'll get it done. Okay. That's it. It's just okay. Work.
You're not forced to build friendship here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just when it's work, dude. It's just work. Don't just work, dude. Like,
so moving forward, and a lot of that is my fault. Like Carolyn will call, and I'll tell Carolyn, just have David handle it.
Yeah.
And then.
It was just once. It just really got to me because it was like all a mess because. I guess him and Angel switched on calls that day because he had to go to Mexico or he had an appointment somewhere. That's what Tiburcio told me. And I'm like, well, when she called me, I was like, well, why didn't you send it to the uncle? He said, well, you're closer. But then it was like a miscommunication. And then he had called me first. Like, I don't know why they're trying to call you. It's for a job, you know? Because sometimes she'll call me like, hey, you didn't put in the enter follow-up note. I thought it was something like that. But she's like, Roberto's saying Donnie told you. And it was that. Now that I'm getting it, it was that. But I was already home, you know, and it was just one time that happened. This was like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, no,
you remember? Yeah.
I completely remember when that was.
So like when that happened, I was like, it's that and everything from the past, and it's just like, why are you calling me? I'm at home already, you know. I'm like, oh, don't call me, weirdo. It's my personal number.
Well, and he may not have known. Dude, I have 2 phone numbers for you. There's a lot of times.
I just carry both now at this point. I just carry both, yeah. The reason why I called you in the 2 different phones is
because sometimes we don't have both phones at hand.
Yeah, and a lot of times my work phone won't get signal.
Yeah.
My
So that's why I call you in one or the other. And like how I say, I don't try to force you or anything. When you're home and I ask you, are you home already? And you say, yes, okay, I have this going on. Can you support it? Yes, no. And like how I say, sometimes pop-ups 2, pop-ups 3.
And I always tell, like if I speak to Jacob and I know it's after hours, I'll call and I'll say, you don't have to do, you know, I don't want you to feel like you have to do this, but I could really use your help. You know, that's how I
see
present it.
when if you were to say it like that, I'd probably be more at ease at it. But it's just he does these loopholes. Like, it's just be direct. Like, stop trying to make me figure out what the problem is. Like, when you call, it's always direct. When Chris calls me, hey man, we got a 2-man job tomorrow, or if you're at Laser, can you pick this up? And then we hang up. Yeah man, cool. Boom, boom, boom. I got the stuff.
I'm the guy, I'm gonna ask the question. If you can't, I'm moving on to the next
Yeah.
And I'm short because I'm already moving to the next step, man. That's my job. You know what I mean? And at the end of all that, if I can't get anybody to do it, I'm rolling.
You're the guy,
I'm the asshole that gets to handle it.
Yeah, I remember that day, like, I was even like, well, Roberto, I'm going to hang up so you can get to that job sooner. Because he told me it was at Laser, and I was already showered, you know? And my wife's literally she made me tacos dorados, and she's like, you better not fucking leave. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, if it was before, then yeah.
And that happened to us. That sometimes we have the ready to eat and we gotta leave.
Yeah, if I'm an on-call, she knows like already not to expect me to come.
The other thing that
like she's already trained, you know. Like
the other thing that you may don't know because you have never been in that position. Even if we're not on call, we're on call.
Yeah, and I've already told the office I've told Carolyn and told the CSRs like, if I'm still on the clock and it's like 3 and I'm still at a job and there's an add-on, like you can send it to me. Like I'll do that. But when I'm already like drove into my house and I'm already showered and stuff, like I guess they didn't know. But since that day, every time it's like 3 or 2:30, I'll call Caroline like, hey, just double checking. You know, I'm gonna start doing my.
There's times shit comes.
Yeah, like right after.
Yeah, and
it was that
I
day.
have no idea unless I'm sitting here. Looking at the computer, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've had that meeting here because I've had Jacob leave early one time, and I get the phone call from Rob.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to get a hold of Jacob, and I'm showing he's done for the day, and it's 1:30. Where the hell is Jacob? And I'm like, dude, honestly, I don't know. I tell you, he called to tell me he's leaving early, but he didn't.
And when you brought that up at the meeting, like was like, that's why I haven't gone to management about that, because I don't want that to happen to you. And trust me, I'm not gonna do that to you, man.
I take a lot of. Both of us do. It's not just me. We take a lot of shit. There's times he walks in the office and Rob pulls him in, and it's an hour-long conversation, like
and things that I don't even know.
Yeah, and both of us get blindsided all the time, dude. I guess there's a big part of me that, like, moving forward, are you two going to be able to work comfortably together?
I mean, all it is just be straightforward with the jobs, you know. Sometimes he's like, oh, Naso, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, what do you need? Nothing, just check in. And I'm like, okay. Okay, and then he's like, so where are you at? And I'm like, oh, I'm here. What do you got next? Oh, I have to go there. Oh, okay. And then we'll hang up. Like, what's the fucking reason for that fucking conversation?
Let me tell you this.
And then there's days where he's like, hey, looks like they got a leak. There's days where it's like that. And I'm like, yeah, cool, send it. But it's just work. You know, if I can work here and it's cool and like it stays like this, then yeah, we're good. But if it's frustrating me, I'll come to you, and then
I hope you will moving forward.
Yeah, I'll come to you and I'll tell you like, hey, it is working or it's not. If I don't bring it up, then obviously it is working. But if I come to you, if it's involving him or anything else, I'm just gonna come.
Well, I'm gonna straight up come up and ask you moving forward, and I hope you'll be honest with me.
Yeah, I will be brutally honest with you.
And I hope you can get the other guys to do the same thing. I feel like I'm left out of a lot of stuff here, and
you're honestly left out of all the conversations about him. Is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, but it's not just that. And I don't know Spanish like you guys do. I can pick up on a few words. I get some of the gist when you guys are.
I guess that's why I'm telling you this. Maybe the guys like Chris and Jacob don't know a lot of things that are going on, but since I know both languages, I guess I kind of picked it all up and vetting it out. So I guess I'm talking for the guys.
And it's good. I'd much rather you do it here than go to management and then I have to explain.
Yeah, and then it's a whole, and then they're gonna have a whole ass meeting, and then they're gonna put restrictions, and it's just gonna mess everything up, and it's gonna be because I opened my mouth, and that's not what I want for me. You know, if I were to leave, I would want a good recommendation.
I just want to know after this. I want to know that the two of you can work together.
I just need him to it's just work related comment.
Now let me talk about the one that you just mentioned.
Like, no, hey, can you go do me this favor at my house?
Can you
know.
let me now talk?
Yeah, talk.
Okay.
Sorry.
We get an instruction from Rob to call you guys. Don't let you just alone. Call your guys where they are, what they are doing,
How they're doing.
how they are doing. So Rob asked us to do that with every one of you more than once a day. That we're not that much. We don't call you every time, every day, every minute. We don't do that. Rob would like us to give you a call at least twice a day. We're not doing that much. And not just when you have like something going on, like, hey, I need you to do this. No, he wants us to call to check how things are going. And that's pretty much, I'm doing what I have been asked for. So don't misinterpret that I'm just bugging you, but I'm doing what they asked me to do. You know? And you know, I gotta do that part that I have been asked for.
And I'm sure because you're frustrated, you probably feel like he's calling to ask you to do something. I get that part of it as well. So
I guess if there is a job, I mean, does they have to go to the CSRs, or does he just send me? Because he could just like, hey, here's the address, they're gonna send you the ticket. Because I get that a lot with Carolyn. She's like, hey, I got a guy here. It looks like you're 20 minutes away. Like, what do you got next? I'm like, oh yeah, you know, throw it in there, you know. And then I used to when it's like during winter and it's like 4 jobs that we have. Yeah, I get there and I text them all in the morning like, hey, expect me here to there. But like right now that it's slow, I just tell them to like send it, and then it's just like it's just it's just the way. Yeah, when it's just when he does it, it's a different version of doing it. It could be way simpler, and I'm not the only one that sees it like that. You know, I don't know.
Because I don't know what the other copper lines are. But
Thank
I
you.
think those
Yeah.
pictures, are the one that I
Really glad you called, and when you told me like you want to talk, I was like, okay, this is my time. I just do it now before it leads to like, you know, I don't want to hurt him, you know. But it hasn't got to that point. It's just like
I think it's one regulator
you know.
in that thing, sideways, high pressure, and it's a pickup. I don't know if you're thinking about that. So
a lot of people sometimes have trouble admitting,
otherwise you're in plan.
responsibility or wrongdoing, man.
yeah. And then when he took us to do work at his house, I was not okay with that, and me and Jose had a combo, and once I saw his side of it, like, dude, like I don't, like, I'm already hired here, and I don't even think they're gonna, like, if they were to like happen, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that to you. I was like, I'll just keep my mouth shut. But and I've only been here a year and a half, and it's been all that.
Yeah, same
you know, it's the way I'm looking at it. Like, I really looked at it yesterday, and I was like, I don't think that's that long. Man. It's a lot. As a new employee coming here and like seeing all that, and just, and then I saw like it built on them, and then I'm everywhere I've worked. Like, if I see something, I'll say it. But this has been my worst situation. Someone like corrupt. It's just whoa. And I don't know how he does it. He's really good at like manipulating like the way his wording is, especially at the office, to make it look like he's alright, you know. But I take a 30-minute lunch at El Pollo Loco, and we're in here having a conversation of it. When I'm like, dude, I have a video of this guy taking naps. Like, come on, really? And like they've told me stories that they caught him sleeping in his truck, and his excuse was, "Oh, I was visualizing the job, how we're gonna do it." But it's like jokes they pick up from like when I started. Like there's these jokes they have from like the past, and I'm like, "Oh shit, who's this guy?" But yeah, I mean, I'll put up the work. I'll keep going. How's it going?
Let's go back to the keyboard or the key question that Donnie asked for. I have no hold on me about any feelings against you. I have nothing on that.
I hope I never gave you any reasons to have any feelings about me,
No.
because I just come to work.
No, like how I said, I don't hold nothing. So for my side, I am always trying to make it as easy as possible, as I can think. I would say I'm not perfect. I may sometimes make mistakes, but I'm looking to make it as easy as I can. Not that I want to have you have a hard time with one of you guys. No.
I have a question for you. So when Jose got the CSST cut, what were you doing with pavers in your truck? That's my question.
Yeah, I get some papers and I get straight to them. I was 15 minutes far from there. When he called me, I was.
You should do that after work, bro.
I load it because they close it, and I just pick it up. 5 minutes.
They've told you here at the company if you need mornings off for an hour or two, like Chris when he had his appointment, just let the office know.
Yeah,
When I had my
we are able to
appointment,
call
yeah,
out
like
in
when
between.
I had my appointment, it fell on the same week as on call. I had to reschedule my dentist appointment so I wouldn't interfere. And then when I do have an appointment, I let the office know, like I need to be, my appointment's at 1:30. They put a note on there, like if we're supposed to do it, why doesn't he have to do it?
Understood.
Like it's not fair. It's not fair at all, Like, and then the whole labor, using company labor, like he's really that cheap to pay us on the weekend, Like, come on, dude. Like that hurts me for Martin, Like, dude, like he, like health benefits and overtime, and it's just like this guy's just fucking him. Like it's not right, man. Like, and I just since then it really did bug me, and then it's just like, and it just like it would piss me off when it's like, well, why are you getting off at 9? I'm like, dude, I'm working. It's like, and he's having the conversation with Josie, and he knows better to not even like.
Yeah, but I just asked you what she asked.
And that was just that one day, like it's just.
Yeah, at that time when I called you, it's because she called me like, oh, this doesn't look right. It was like, well, let me call him. Double check for you.
You were on the phone with me at 7:30 when I was still at the lady's house. You didn't have to call me.
No,
You had to tell her.
I didn't know what time you clock out, and this is what she called.
Yeah, it was 7:30, and then I came here, dropped up the paperwork, and then it's the drive to 60th Street, and I always do my walk around.
The only thing that she asked me is like, she clock out at 9. So, I mean, you clock out at 9.
It was
so he's
exactly
still
9
working,
when I was leaving.
and I
Check
told
the
her.
cameras. I even told him, like, check the cameras.
No,
He's
I
got cameras.
and I told you.
Like, check the cameras when I was here, and then check the cameras when I was
We
there.
don't have access to those cameras.
Yeah, and like
Smart.
how I.
Yeah,
like
so like, and then.
Like how I tell you that time, I'm just making you the question.
Yeah.
That they asked me to do it. That's it. Not that because
Yeah.
we don't have access to the time. We don't see what time you clock in and out. So how do I gonna know what time you clock out? I don't know. And that time, and when she asked me, it's kind of like that time also she asked me like, okay, David is clocking 6, and sometimes before 6 is like, well.
And I was only clocking in before 6 because I was always switching trucks. Like, even the guys in the morning are like, oh, you're in 5 now. And it's boom, boom, and then boom, boom. That's why I was always clocking in a little early, because I didn't know what. And then I get there and it's like, oh, you got a cage, 2 cages, and then this. So then I am, and then I have to call, hey, is there a crate? Like, that was my life here every morning for like a couple months.
And it was sucks.
And it's like, but did you ever hear me complain? No, because I put up with it. I figure it out.
And let me tell you that I was feeling bad because
obviously you were.
No, I was feeling, and we were in the same page. We have that conversation between us. We were saying like, what are them paying for this guy, because we're shorting trucks. I mean, and in that time.
Yeah, I never complained as long as the AC was working. I didn't care. Like 5 and 11 AC were
talking
fine.
about AC. You see what they went through, Chris and Jacob.
Yeah.
They have like 2 weeks that they have a hard time with the AC. So, and sometimes that's kind of thing that it's out of our hands. It's out of our hands. So now we can talk about a lot of things, but let's say this: when you broke down in the road, who go for you to support you.
Well, you've got to help. Yeah.
And I went to.
Because he's always got time, you know? I'm sorry, it's built up to that point, man. I'm sorry.
Not that I have time. I mean, Donnie has been with me mornings complete. And he has seen how many things I go through every day. It's not that I'm not doing nothing. And let me tell you, I've been a technician before. And my life was so easier when I was just a technician. When I have everybody going through me. Every job that is going on is going through me, because if everything happens, if everything is needed, it comes to me. So sometimes I'm thinking that I'm gonna support somebody, and then I ended up going to somewhere else, depending. So like when the cold ranch came, like that call, I was having a couple of things to go to the field manager's ready, and I ended up rescheduling. And I haven't had a time to go back there. And that's just one of those head drillers that they just sometimes they came. And that day was a particular one, because that call was from the upper management, and also we know that the freeway was closed. So whoever was going that way, we clearly know that it was going to be a super long day for whoever goes. And I was the first one online. I never called out in that one. And it was, you could ask Chris, how long was the driving back? 3 hours plus, just in the way back. And it was that. I mean, do you think we were trying to have to go over there? No. This was expecting to do things. I was expecting to do things, and we didn't get it. So let's say last Saturday, everybody rescheduled their things. Donnie rescheduled appointments. I did.
Who was the lady that you had to reschedule? The one that he called me about.
Which one?
He told me that you called, that you told him that I was ignoring you because you rescheduled a call.
We had
everything happened at the same time.
Okay.
So
it was a final inspection
Okay.
that we were going to try and pull ahead on. I told him to call you to get it done, because I'm trying to clear the board to get ahead for Monday.
He should have just been like, hey, we have a final. Can you do it? And I would have.
Yeah, but a lot of times, like I explained to you yesterday, man, I don't like leaving a text message, because now I've just left an open forum and I'm going to forget about it. That's why I usually call. And
I get it now to your point, so I don't. So
we can make calls.
I guess from now on, so a lot of times yesterday and the day before, I had my work phone in the truck, and when you called me, I was doing the leash. I was getting ready to do the leash. I'll answer every call. It's just if I get a call from him, I expect it to just be work related. Like, hey, can you go here? Cool, yes. And if it's like that, then it's simpler on me to just accept.
I'm going to even take it a step further, and I'm going to just handle the calls to you moving forward. So he'll call me, I'll call you. I don't know.
Yeah, or
tension.
If it needs to be a ticket made, like with the CSRs, Carolyn's really good. Like, she'll be getting calls, and she'll call me like, hey, or she'll text me like, hey, there's like I said, like a leak check here. It's in this area. Like, even if it's like a 30-40 minute drive, I have nothing after. Like,
Carolyn's also trying to get off the phone as quickly as she can to get the next phone call.
And she's really good at it, because a lot, we text a lot, me and Carolyn, and it's like boom, boom, and then like we're killing it, boom, boom, and it's like, because it's just work related, you know, and it's boom, boom, boom. Like I could show you like how simple it could be. She's awesome to work with.
A lot of times too, and even with Roberto, we're trying to keep feelings involved.
Yeah, like avoiding gaps, you know.
Man, if you're home, I don't expect you to turn around and come back in. It would be great to help the team out, but I'm not expecting it. Yeah. But there's times I don't know if you're home or not, man. So that's just things we're gonna have to work through. But
it's just I feel like it was just like that right now, because it's been slow, and it's not like how it is during winter, where it's like, you know, we got 2 more jobs, and if it's just like light a pilot, you could just squeeze that in there, because it's not like gonna take an hour.
For us, it's harder this time, because the calls, they don't come straight. Sometimes it pops one, then you have a big gap, and then you have something else, and it's our job to try to fill those gaps. to try to keep you guys busy. Because what? Because we wanna show you guys doing something. We wanna protect your time.
And here's my fear, man, and I hear every week, and I'm being straight with you in our managers meetings. We try and fill your guys' time. You'll have one job, and I'm hearing, is it time to lay an employee off? They ask me that question almost weekly. Is it time to lay one of the service technicians off? Are we slow enough for that? They're constantly looking for, and that would be, okay, we're going to shift David back into Jose's team, and I'm going to have to let Tiburcio go until we get into winter. I have to hold all that off, but in doing that, I have to justify your guys' time, which is a lot of time. I'll tell him, give it to David, because David only had 2 jobs today. Give it to, Jacob. Give it to Chris. They don't so much look at his time, and it may seem shitty to you guys, but when you look at the bigger picture, I'm not having to let anybody go or shift things around where at wintertime I'm going to be come September. I just let a guy go.
But now we have a whole day's worth for an extra guy.
Well, and then into September, I got to start the hiring process to bring a guy back that I literally a month ago just let go. So I'm constantly playing a tug and pull game. And where you guys might think it's him just being a dick and adding stuff to you guys, it's me telling him add it so that we fill their day out and I don't get the questions from them. Is it time to lay an employee off? There's so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes, man,
that we don't see as just the workers.
And then you have all this pent up frustration against him, and I get it. I get where your frustration comes from, truly. But know that it's not always coming from a sense of, I gotcha, or I'm just going to throw this to you because I don't feel like doing it. There's a lot of stuff, and maybe those phone calls need to start coming from me so that you guys don't feel like it's always him asking you to do it. It's coming from his boss asking you to do it. You know what I mean? And then you don't have that tension that you got going on. My fault, man, for that part of it. I apologize for
worries. It's
putting
I guess it's like a learning
situation.
Thing. So I guess it's good that I opened up, so we know now. You know some of the guys.
It brings you and I got some talking to do, obviously, but thank you for coming to me. And
I'll get to the work. What
do you have anything else you wanted to?
The only thing what I want to say is we are a stronger of a team, and like how I mentioned before, I hope that we can make it worth it.
I really hope so too, because I really like this job. I had no idea what I was getting into when I got in here. Like I didn't even know the language. Like what the fuck are pigtails, facaways, and then now that I know the stuff, I feel very comfortable.
This is not a job.
And
this is a career.
Every week is a new thing. Like the gauge at Chipotle, when I took the gauge phase off, I'm like, it's leaking there. What the I love it, man. I keep learning, and I'm just comfortable with it. But I don't have anything else. I think I got it all off my chest.
Feel a little better?
Yeah, honestly, I do. I felt this
relief.
The inlet.
But yeah, that's how it's been since I started here. And honestly, the guys wanted me when I got here. Like just if you can keep your distance, better. But I didn't know until I witnessed it myself. So can I get going? Yep. All right, thanks, Donnie.
No worries.
Thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Yep.